Right, evening folks. This is a hopefully fairly short tutorial on thoughts, ideas on how to use some of the functions in Fusion that Gary mentioned yesterday, I think it was, where he was struggling a little bit. So first of all, what I'm going to talk about is drawing around this curve here. And there's a couple of ways of doing that. So first thing to do is, as normal, create a sketch. Create a sketch on the front plane. This picture's in line with that plane. And the one way I'm going to draw that curve is using a thing called splines. So we go create, down to splines. And I think, Gary, this is probably the thing you were looking for. Maybe didn't realise what this did. So we'll give it a go. And we'll start down here. I'll zoom in. And we'll start here, and each time you zoom in a bit further, this is plot a point, then it will draw a curve to join up the points and try and make them as smooth. It will try and make them as smooth as possible. So you can see them coming round. The closer the points together, the closer it's going to be to what you want. Okay. And you then move across to the little tick here. Say, okay, that's messed up the last bit, that's fine. What it then does is put in, for every dot you did, put in these little two lines, lying either side, going through the dot. So if we then get out of, press the escape key to get out of the enter mode and grab one of these points, what you can see is we can alter the shape of the curves around that point. So we can get it to curve out, curve in, and that allows you ways of fine-tuning the point. The longer, the more effect it has over a longer area. You bring it in close, it just affects around where the point is. Hopefully you can see that. So that's a way of drawing a very freehand curve where we've got a far more organic shape. Okay, so that's one way we could draw a curve, and we'll get rid of that. Another way is, let's start off by drawing the same thing. Create a sketch on the XY plane, and we'll start off by drawing a couple of lines. So we'll start down here, we'll go up, go across, go up here, and then we want to have a curve going around from this point. So we'll say that's fine for those lines. And now we're going to draw more geometrically a curve around here. We're going to use the arc function. And there are three types of arc: 3 points, center point, and tangent. Just depends on what you're looking for. So if we go for 3 points, it gives you a little tick there. Place the start point, then it will want the end point, and then it's saying, okay, where do you want the third point? And you can see it sort of snaps at that point. And when it snaps, you get, if you look down here, you get the omega symbol, which means it's tangent to that line coming in. And that looks about right. So that's probably the way designer drew this. And hit OK. I hit the mouse button. And now we've got a very good version of that by doing straight lines and using the arc function. And if we go back a step and undo the 3-point arc, and we'll try one of the other ones. I'm going a bit off-piste here because I've used these before, but I haven't used them recently. So we'll use a tangent arc. And if you can see, it gives you a little helper there. I'm pointing at the screen, it's ridiculous. Create an arc with tangency. Select 2 points. Okay, so the shape of the arc is determined by the fact that one of the lines is going to be a tangent to an existing line. So let's give that a go. So it says specify start point, and you can see the arc exits that start point. Is a sort of continuous straight line from that start point. So it's a tangent to that start point. And you can see here, we've got pretty much that same curve before, but only with 2 points on the third one in the middle. So we specify the end point, and then we've got a nice, and you can see the tangent symbol there. So this line, the curve is tangent to this line here. So nice way of doing arcs. Let's have a look. What's the third one? Oh yeah, center point. Right, okay, let's get rid of the arc we've just drawn and create arc, center point. Create an arc using 3 points. Select the center point, then select the start point, and the last select the end point, specify the angle value. Right, okay, let's give that a go. So I reckon we'll have the center place. It says place the center point, so we'll go there. Press the start point, and then it says press the end point. Ooh, look. And I think we're going the wrong way, aren't we? Ooh, look at that. Okay, that's not really what we want, but yeah, there we go. That's how that works. Right, fine. Okay, whatever. Right, anyway, so we've got splines and arcs. That's what's going on there. Right, one other thing Gary was talking about, or writing about, I should say, let's finish that sketch and get rid of it, was taking a shape and creating a kind of reinforcement on like the side of a chassis. So we'll have a look at that. There's a couple of ways of doing it. First thing we're going to do is let's assume we took our time and did a very good drawing of the side of this hopper wagon. Go there. Finish sketch. It's in blue because I haven't done it from the origin, but whatever. Draw the sketch, and typically on the wagons they have a sort of strengthening rib going all the way around the outside. So I kind of think you probably know how to do this, but let's. Oh, I didn't mean to finish drawing. There we go. Never mind. Right. I'll undo finish sketch. Right. There we are. That's better. We use this. It's offset. I'm sure you've done this, but maybe you haven't. Okay. So we'll choose offset, and you can see here we've got an outer or inner rectangle. So, and if you watch the numbers, you'll see the sign flips from negative it's inside, positive it's outside. So we go negative inside. Yeah, okay. And obviously one thing we can do there, if we've already got behind this, we had our chassis, what we can then do is finish sketch and go for an extrude, go for the middle of that, and where's the arrow gone? Ah, there we go. And we can bring that out a little way, hit OK. And now we've got, you can see better here. Way too deep, but we've got the ridge around the edge of the chassis. That's one thing you can do. And then one other quite funky thing you can do, if we undo that, undo the extrude, we'll go back and edit a sketch. Edit sketch. Let's get rid of these. They're very off piece now. Right. We'll talk a bit about projecting as well. Right, what we're going to do is ignore that for a bit. Where's the origin? So we'll turn on the XYZ to make life a bit easier. Turn off the canvas for the moment. Get rid of this devil. And we're going to do this based off the origin. So we're going to start with our easy peasy chassis. And let's finish that. Oh, I don't know. Didn't want to finish it. Let's dimension that. So I'll put some dimensions in. There. We'll do, I don't know, 5.5. I didn't like that. Oh, that's just a numeric keypad on. Okay, 5,500. And go there to there. Over here. That's going to be about 200, isn't it? Let's give that a go. No. Still, it's not on. Right, turn it on. Right. Okay, so this is the edge of our chassis. Let's do finish sketch. Let's extrude that across there. So we've got something that looks a little bit like a chassis. Okay. What we can do is something quite funky, and that is draw on that plane. And what we can do is draw a shape. And we're going to do a 2-point rectangle, go from there, there. I'm going to do 15 by 15. 15 tab, 15 tab. Okay. Finish the sketch. What we can then do is sweep that. And it says, what do you want to sweep? What profile? I'm going to sweep that profile. And it says, what path do you want to sweep it along? And I'm going to go, select the path, go along there. And what you can do is, should be able to select more. Why is it not allowing me to do that? Because it normally does. Sorry for this, so again, a little bit off script. Right, got the profile okay. Ooh, just let me do that one. Ah, that's a bit better. Why would it allow me? Let's just turn off that. Will it allow me to select that? No. Normally it will. Maybe it's because it's at right angles. Why won't it? I can't figure out why it worked. Normally it lets me go all the way around. So apologies there, this is not a very good tutorial because it's not letting me do it. Right. Profile's okay. Single path. Ooh, let's go for solid sweep. Along the path. Right, let's go for solid sweep. See where that works. Ooh. Oh no, it wants to sweep a body, not. Right, okay. That's not going to work, is it? Let's try and go in. Path can go in real. Let's try that. Path. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, now we're cooking on gas. There. There. Right. Okay. Actually, no, that's not right, is it? Let's try a single path. Profile. Someone selected. Path. Oh, look, it's done it. Haha. There we go. Apologies, team. I don't know why that worked when it didn't work the first time. It's a bit funny sometimes, I found with Fusion in terms of selecting stuff. Right, so we've got a path all the way around. What we can do One selected. So we turn off the chain. Turn off that. Let's try it. What happens if we go there? So we can't do that. We can stop it going all the way along. That's so weird. Can I select the path before I... Yes, I can. Look, I can select the path first. Let's do that this time. And then this time select the profile. There. Path is tangent to the profile. Try to adjust the path of rotation of the profile. But it was fine earlier. It's happy if it goes all the way around. Don't know. Anyway, okay. That is at least part of what we're looking for. I think Gary was also after what happens if you only want to do part of it. Well, I sort of did that by accident. Hopefully that's a little bit helpful. Sorry it's all a bit seat of the pants, but there we go.